My parents always favored my spoiled brother, using my college fund for his car and skipping my wedding for his activities. Later I discovered they actually went on a Disney trip, so I decided to cut them all off. Buckle up, because this will be a long story. I 27F have a younger brother, Mike 21M. He is the epitome of a spoiled mama's boy, always complaining and expecting everyone to cater to him. Ever since he was born, my parents have fawned over him, neglecting me in the process. My mom 50F went from being a loving mother to the type of overbearing boy mom that people joke about online. My dad 50M still showed me some love, but he never stood up to my mom for my sake. The only one who stood up for me was my grandpa 76M, who always called out my parents' favoritism and never liked my brother. Grandpa and I share a special bond since I remind him of my late grandmother. Unfortunately, he lives across the country, so we don't see each other often. Mike knew our mom preferred him and loved to rub it in my face. His behavior led to constant conflict between us. He's spoiled, bratty, and a generally awful person. I lost count of how many times I got in trouble for things I did better than him or for things he framed me for. His only talent is football, which got him a scholarship to a nice out-of-state college. My parents claimed my college fund was used to cover expenses after a fire, but I later discovered they gave the money to Mike for a car and a house. In college, I met Lucas. He was the first person I truly connected with, and through him and my new friends, I managed to move out of my parents' house. Both Lucas and I are now well established in our fields with good salaries. Lucas proposed to me a year ago. We are private people and didn't announce it on social media. When I told my parents, they barely acknowledged it. We decided on a simple ceremony and reception with friends and family. Lucas convinced me to invite my parents and brother, but they never responded to the invite. Whenever I visited and tried to talk about the wedding, my mom would interrupt to brag about Mike. Fed up, I told her the date of an important event omitting that it was my wedding, and she said they couldn't come because of Mike's game. Unsurprised by their favoritism, I didn't insist. Our wedding a few weeks ago was perfect. My family, Lucas's family, and our friends attended. My grandpa gave me away, and we had a blast. When asked why my parents weren't there, I honestly replied that they had a game to attend. After the reception, Lucas and I went on a honeymoon without phones. Upon returning, we found a storm of messages from my mother and brother. Apparently, an aunt posted wedding photos on Facebook, criticizing my parents for missing it. The post went viral, shaming them publicly. My grandpa also visited my parents to berate my father, leading him to threaten divorce unless my mom made amends. My mom's messages shifted from insults to begging. At home with my husband, I'm deciding how to handle this. Relatives, even those not invited to the wedding, reached out to apologize and claim ignorance of my situation. My mom's sisters and friends, however, are blaming me for not informing my mom about the wedding. I believe she's only trying to save face. I posted on Reddit and received supportive comments. Many agreed that my parents' actions had consequences, and that I should prioritize my happiness. Encouraged by the support, I decided to cut ties with those who belittled me and seek therapy to address my trauma. I arranged a meeting with my parents and brother, accompanied by my aunts and uncle for support. My father apologized repeatedly, my mother admitted she simply disliked me, and my brother confessed he enjoyed making me miserable. It turned out they never received my wedding invitation because Mike had intercepted and trashed it, deleting any related texts. This revelation fueled my anger. My parents took Mike to Disneyland instead of a football game, which further enraged me. I finally unleashed years of pent-up frustration, telling my father he was weak, my brother he was pathetic, and my mother she was a narcissist. I walked away, determined to cut them out of my life for good. I shared my mother's abusive messages with her church community, leading to her ostracization. My father wrote a lengthy apology, expressing regret and a desire to divorce my mother, but I told him I didn't want to see him and blocked him. Lucas and I are starting a new chapter, and my grandpa is staying with us for support. I'll update if anything changes, but for now, I'm focusing on my mental health and happiness. Anything changes, or if my relatives try to reach out again. But as of now, I am feeling more at peace than I have in years. My grandpa has been a constant support and has assured me that I did the right thing. He's been encouraging me to focus on my new family with Lucas, and to remember that I deserve all the happiness that comes my way. Lucas and I have also started talking about our future plans now that this chapter of our lives is closing. We're considering moving to a new city, one where we can build new memories and not be constantly reminded of the past. The idea of starting fresh somewhere new is exciting and feels like the right step forward for us. As for therapy, I had my first session last week. It was incredibly cathartic to talk to someone unbiased about my experiences and feelings. My therapist has already helped me start to untangle the web of emotions I've been dealing with for so long. We're working on building healthier boundaries and learning how to let go of the guilt and need for approval that's been weighing me down. Interestingly, a few days ago, I received a letter in the mail from my paternal grandparents. They expressed their sorrow for not being more involved and supportive throughout my life and apologized for not realizing the extent of the neglect and mistreatment I faced. They asked if they could visit and meet Lucas properly. After discussing it with Lucas, I decided to give them a chance. The visit went well. My grandparents seemed genuinely remorseful and eager to build a relationship with me. It was awkward at first, but I could tell they were making an effort. We talked about the past, but we also talked about the future and how we can move forward together. It felt good to finally have some of my family acknowledging what I went through and wanting to make amends. On another note, my paternal aunts and uncles have been incredibly supportive. They've been checking in on me regularly and have expressed their disdain for my parents' behavior. They've also assured me that they stand by my decision to go no contact with my parents and brother. It's comforting to know that not everyone in my family is against me, and that I have people who genuinely care about my well-being. Lucas and I are also planning a small celebration with our closest friends to mark this new beginning in our lives. It's not a second wedding, but rather a gathering to celebrate our love and the new chapter we're starting. I'm looking forward to it, as it feels like a positive way to put the past behind us and focus on the good things ahead. In conclusion, while this journey has been incredibly difficult, it has also been liberating. I feel like I'm finally taking control of my life and making decisions that are best for me. Cutting ties with toxic family members was one of the hardest things I've ever done, but it was necessary for my peace of mind and happiness. I'm grateful for the support of my wonderful husband, my amazing grandpa, and my supportive friends and relatives. Thank you to everyone who has followed my story and offered their support and advice. Your kind words and encouragement have meant the world to me. I'm excited to see what the future holds and to continue building a happy and healthy life with Lucas. Update. A few weeks have passed since my last update, and things have been relatively peaceful. Lucas and I have been enjoying our time together, focusing on our work and hobbies, and planning future trips we want to take. Therapy has been going well, and I'm starting to feel more at ease with the decisions I've made. However, my father has tried to reach out again. He sent me a long letter, expressing his regret and begging for another chance to make things right. He claims that he's serious about the divorce and wants to be part of my life. After discussing it with my therapist and Lucas, I decided to maintain my boundaries. I replied to him, stating that while I appreciate his attempts to reconcile, I need more time and space to heal. I made it clear that I'm not ready to rebuild a relationship with him right now, and that he needs to respect my wishes. I also received a message from one of my maternal cousins, who apologized for their previous harsh words and admitted that they were under a lot of pressure from my aunt, my mother's sister. They expressed their support and understanding of my situation and hoped we could stay in touch. I appreciated their honesty and decided to give them another chance, with the understanding that any toxicity would not be tolerated. Lucas and I are still considering moving to a new city. We've been looking at different locations and weighing the pros and cons. The idea of starting fresh is becoming more appealing every day. It feels like the perfect opportunity to leave the past behind and focus on our future together. My paternal grandparents have continued to reach out and have been very supportive. We've had a few more visits, and they've even invited us to spend a weekend at their place. It's been nice getting to know them better and feeling their genuine care and concern. My grandpa, the star of the family, has been enjoying his stay with us. We've been taking him around the city, showing him our favorite spots, and just spending quality time together. He's been a great source of wisdom and comfort, and I'm grateful for his presence. Overall, life is looking up. I'm focusing on the positive, surrounding myself with people who genuinely care about me, and taking things one day at a time. The road ahead may still have its challenges, but I feel more equipped to handle them now. I'm excited to see what the future holds and to continue building a happy and fulfilling life with Lucas by my side. Thank you all once again for your incredible support and for following my journey. Your encouragement has been invaluable, and I'm so grateful for this community. I'll keep you updated if anything significant happens, but for now I'm signing off to enjoy this new chapter of my life. Final note. To anyone going through a similar situation, know that it's okay to put yourself first. It's okay to cut ties with toxic family members and to seek happiness and peace. You deserve to be treated with love and respect. Stay strong, and don't be afraid to take the steps necessary for your well-being. You're not alone, and there's a whole community out there ready to support you.